Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is John Viglotti. On behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you joined us for our next presentation from Digital Brand Media and Marketing Group. Please note you can submit questions for the presenter in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for one-on-one meetings through the Schedule Meetings tab found on the conference platform. At this point, I'm very pleased to welcome our next presenter. He's Reggie James, Chief Operating Officer and Director of DBMM Group and Managing Director and Founder of Digital Clarity. The Digital Brand Media Marketing Group trades on OTC Markets under the symbol DBMM. Welcome, Reggie.
John, thank you very much. I'm absolutely delighted to be here. And as John said, I am the COO of DBMM Group and founder and managing director of Digital Clarity. Let's start with the obligatory safe harbor slide. There we go. Now that that's out of the way, let's get into it. So I'm absolutely delighted to be talking to everybody here today about Digital Clarity's marketing intelligence engine. As the name suggests, we help B2B tech companies strategically communicate their value direct to prospective customers at scale using AI. So I'm going to go into a lot more detail about this. And though we're aiming this at the investment community, this presentation is also very relevant to my fellow technology presenters as well. And this will become clear as we go through the presentation. So next slide, a little bit more about DBMM Group. As John rightly said, Digital Brand Media Marketing Group are a fully reporting US company that trades on OTC markets. The company is headquartered in New York. Digital Clarity is based in London and operates globally. The longer term goal of the company is to uplist on NASDAQ once we have met the requisite criteria. So next slide. This is our wonderful leadership team, and it's a very experienced leadership team. A little bit more about myself in a minute, but let me tell you about Linda Perry. Linda is a Harvard MBA, has vast experience in the corporate world. She has been a senior executive at Fortune 50 organizations, including Exxon and Credit Suisse. She advises boards of directors and global public companies. I oversee the operational side of the business. I'm going to go into a little bit more about my background. I'm a seasoned entrepreneur. I've built and exited quite a number of different ventures. And this is particularly important about what we're going to be talking about and presenting today. So our combined business experience and skill sets of Linda and myself make us a very efficient and powerful leadership team. So let me tell you a little bit more about me. Next slide, please. So I started my life off at a company called Ziff Davis in VNU. These are publishing companies that were back in the day publishing IT and management publications. I worked on the advertising side. I helped launch the first dedicated management consultancy magazine, and then launched into the weekly technology space, in the enterprise space, with a brand new launch at Ziff Davis. We became market leader within 6 months, both in terms of market share and in terms of revenue. As the internet came along, that strange thing, and companies like AOL, Lycos, and the like started coming into view, the companies, the individuals that started working at those organizations were all very much from the publishing side. And the reason behind that is they understood about how to sell space, They understood the commercial aspect of advertising and how to monetize the internet, which is what we have today. So there was a small company that was coming over here from Mountain View called Alta Vista, and I joined its global sales team. I was working with big brands like Hewlett Packard and IBM, both with their agencies and the clients direct. And really those early days helped. I was part of a team that helped actually shape a lot of the business models that we have today. So it was a very, very interesting time. And I was part of the team that was acquired by Yahoo at Alta Vista. So, and then I launched Digital Clarity. So I talked about some of the startups that I've been involved with. One of the first ones that I did was a company called Media Ring. It was a voice over IP business, and it was the first .com to list on Cymex, a junior exchange in Singapore. As I say, it's a voice over IP technology, which meant, and it's strange talking about this now, but it allowed companies to make telephone calls from one computer to another, which in its day was groundbreaking, all over internet protocol. And what my role was in that particular startup was to monetize that by creating so when the client was on their computer, there would be advertising running. So it fulfilled so many different things. The client got a free phone call and they could stay on as long as they want. The advertiser got in front of a whole new market, and the company made money. So that company grew and was ultimately acquired by a large Asian infrastructure telecoms business called NetPlus. And that was a wonderful experience of developing and building that startup. Then, as we move on to the next slide, I more recently, just as I was setting up Digital Clarity, I bootstrapped and built Digital Clarity Storm. So DC Storm. I did this with a couple of engineers from Alta Vista, and DC Storm is a analytics and attribution tool used by well over 30% of the large media planning buying agencies. And what the tool did was it allowed companies to make sense of data. And it's so prevalent to this day as we talk about AI, data, machine learning, none of that is of any use unless it's put into context. Data for the sake of data is, unless it's creating value and you understand what it's saying and you can actually apply it, it's not going to make sense. So that's what DC Storm did on those very, very early days. Ultimately, DC Storm was acquired by a large Japanese technology business, big $5 billion plus business based out of Tokyo, called Rakuten, and that was ultimately sold. And that brings us to where we are today, which is Digital Clarity. And Digital Clarity is an award-winning digital marketing business that's transforming itself into a full-scale management consultancy. So given our history and team, Digital Clarity's DNA is deep in the technology, data, and marketing sector. The company's actually developed a very, very unique and proven strategy-led framework that allows tech leaders to turn their marketing into a very powerful revenue engine. This approach has helped countless tech companies, and what we do is we help define who they are, what they do, who they do it for, and clearly communicate that value to generate growth. And we've done that for a whole variety of different companies, and I'm just going to share some of the B2B tech clients that we've worked with. You can see that a lot of these are companies that are based in the US, and to this day, and as we move forward, we deal with a lot of US-based technology businesses. So on the next slide, you can see some of the successful case studies. our track record in terms of actually taking a company and helping it stop going round and round in circles and give them a defined roadmap has led to us helping companies achieve some amazing results and add to their bottom line. This is just 4 examples of companies that we've worked with. And really what we do when we meet companies, we try and meet companies where they are, but we find themselves trying different things, mimicking their competition. And really what we do is get them to the source and help them define who they are and really give them the building blocks to succeed with their marketing. And the marketing, we developed that system because it's complex. The B2B market today, as you'll see in this next slide, is this very, very powerful research that was done by Boston Consulting Group last year that says that 2 trillion is wasted every single year by old-fashioned sales and marketing techniques. And for me, that's unsurprising. About 80% of the companies, this is pure Pareto principle of companies, have no strategy. They go from one thing to another, as I've said, and really, no matter how good your technology product is, if there is no game plan, you're not going to move the dial. So $2 trillion, I mean, that's a huge sum. And what I'm going to do is touch on why that's happening and really how we fix it strategically. And now, using our new AI stack, how we can seamlessly grow and develop and deal with those problems. So let's look at the customer buyer journey. After years of research, LinkedIn coined the phrase the 95-5 rule. So what does that mean for B2B companies? Well, it means that sadly, only 5% of your potential customers are actually in play. They're actually in the market to buy your product. The 95% of those companies are not even in market. In many cases, many of them don't even know that they have a problem, let alone your solution can actually solve that problem. So that creates a real challenge because what we find is companies try and target everybody with 1 or 2 messages, unaware of where they are in their buying circle. If you're trying to make someone an offer on your technology and they don't even realize the problem that they've got, that's a wasted piece of time, energy, and marketing collateral. It's not going to work. And this is one of the countless reasons that we help to fix. Because even though you get leads and you may even get a demo request, what you may find is that after that demo, you never hear from that client ever again. So we've been working with that and we've been helping fix that and really helping our customers understand the buyer journey and ultimately have customers coming to them. So the B2B, in today's world, the buyers are in control, as you'll see in the next slide. This is data that's come from the intent engine called 6 Sense. And one of the reasons that I just touched on just now on why prospects go cold and you can't get them over the line is that the buyers are very much in control. We found that well over 80% of the cases, they make the first move. And with a lot of the companies that we've been working with, we found that, and we've been very lucky and privy to having access to buyers, to tech buyers. So we've sat with small committees of 2 or 3 people, right to large enterprise-wide and local government and mega government buyers, where they've actually have 10, 15, 20 people involved in the buying decision chain. And that is fascinating because it actually shows you what they're looking for within a company. And believe you me, it's not what the actual companies, what the software companies think it is. So we use a lot of that insight and that data, we bake it all in. And it also, we help our companies understand that just because somebody makes contact with you doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to buy. So we also work with our clients to actually help define and refine what is a good market fit, what is a good lead, and whether it's something that's going to get over the line, and really understand those prospects and what they're trying to achieve. We're now doing this with the use of AI, which again, I'll tell you about. So as I'm saying, there's all these challenges, there's all these different things. We need strategy, we need all these elements to be baked into one solution. There has to be a seamless way. Well, surprise, surprise, there is a seamless way. Welcome to, on the next slide, the Marketing Intelligence Engine developed by Digital Clarity. As it says, we join the dots. We're a perfect blend of strategy that fits in with AI, a yin and yang of sorts that sits at the intersection of marketing, data, and AI. AI is here, and I'm just going to share a quote by Quantum Black, which is the AI division of the management consultancy McKinsey, which is on the next slide there. Now, they've actually said that AI-powered marketing can totally transform a company. Already, companies using AI in marketing are seeing up to 30% reduction in customer acquisition costs and a 20% increase in customer lifetime value. Now, that sounds great, but for many companies, where do you start? How can you begin? These are questions we get all the time. And that's understandable, as you'll see in the next slide, because the marketplace is growing at an exponential rate. This is just a snapshot of the generative AI landscape. You can see that it causes a lot of confusion. Again, as I'm saying, this is just a very, very brief snapshot, but it also creates an opportunity. Many of those tools that you see in this particular slide, I know it's quite small, we are using these tools already, right now, as part of our intelligence engine. And as we build out on this, we're going to take this to another level. So why digital clarity? What is it that this engine is doing that makes a difference? On the next slide, you'll see that we have an end-to-end solution, a complete 360-degree approach, building out this proprietary stack. We have the experience, we've got all the strategic knowledge, we've got all the insights, but the difference with this is that we're a hybrid business. We bring in that human expertise that makes sense of those earlier stages when companies are trying to make sense of the data. And we will always have that human face, if you like, in this kind of digital world. So this is what we're building out. This is what makes for an exciting and investable future. And if we look at the next slide, I'm going to just touch on what we're building out in our technology stack. And these are 5 of the core features that we have built and are developing. So if I just touch on those very, very quickly, you'll be able to see, number 1, the discovery and diagnostic engine, so crucial. Start as you mean to go on. How can you get to where you're going to if you don't know exactly where you are? Think of a satellite navigation system. When you type in the destination of where you want to go to and you put in your coordinates, what the navigation system does is take you to where you exactly are and then gives you and directs you to where you want to go. It's exactly the same with the first part of that stack. Number 2, the strategy development module. This again is helping you build out all the areas that you need. What are the resources you're going to need to hit your targets? What are the different technology pieces? What are the skill sets that are going to be required? All of that comes in number 2. Number 3 is about creating rich content, the areas that I touched on before. How do you communicate with a powerful message to your customer wherever they are in their journey? Then we have number 4, the ongoing decision making, defining your ROI. pivoting from one platform to another, choosing the right one at the right time. And then number 5, we're talking about the customer acquisition tool. This is one of the most powerful tools that we've actually built and are actually using right now. This is what we call a super component. And again, it's the one that will help take our customers over the line, again, using all these different data sources. But this is just the beginning of the journey. As you'll see in the next slide, that the tech stack that I'm just talking about is just one layer that sits on top of multiple layers that we are building in. There's a richer, stronger roadmap that will take this tool to another level, all with that hybrid approach. It will be interoperable with other systems, and we see that as a key component in terms of how we actually grow this and scale this ourselves. So, as we go through on the next slide, the marketing strategy and AI integration, this makes for an incredibly exciting opportunity. There are countless and independent reports that show the demand for experienced marketing strategy and expertise, as well as using AI marketing solutions. This combination creates a massive opportunity out there. And this is growing, the genie's out of the bottle. This isn't going away. And this is something that you can right now take full advantage of, as you'll see in this next slide, which is the investment potential that we have. This is just 5 of well over 30 different reasons why this is a wonderful ground floor opportunity, and absolutely a gateway for investors to get into the future of AI and in marketing. So it really presents a unique opportunity to participate in this next wave of marketing technology and innovation. Our robust technology stack that we're building out, our expertise, the rapidly growing marketplace, Digital Clarity through its parent DBMM group is perfectly positioned to take advantage of this next phase of B2B tech companies and how they adopt to this brave new world. So, how do you get involved? Well, DBMM is at an inflection point. It's offering a full service management consultancy, and it's the perfect time to onboard for both clients and for shareholders. So the best way to do this is book a one-to-one with me, and I will happily talk to you about our market expansion, some of the cities that we're identifying in the US that are tech hubs, and tell you about some of our pipeline in innovation and some of the opportunities that we're going to be building out. So that's been me. Thank you very much. I think, and hopefully we have some time for some questions that are coming in. So I can just see one coming in here. Reggie, in your opinion, why do you think so many companies don't have a game plan? Wow, there's a great question. Well, that is, I suppose, like many people, a lot of companies are looking for a quick fix. They want to have the 6-pack, but they're not willing to do the work. They're not going to go to the gym. They're not going to do the diet. They're not going to get the sleep, the nutrition, etc. For something to be sustainable, you need to put in the work. And a lot of companies don't do it. As I say, it's the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule, and really what we're trying to develop here and what we have been doing is building that strategy out to help you fix those gaps before you move on and start doing all that good stuff. And so we've got another question just coming in here. Sorry, it's just coming in on a different screen. AI is frightening, but I see the value. If your system is on autopilot, is there a danger of us losing marketing money in the wrong areas? That, again, is a great question. And again, to answer that, the short answer is no, because there's a human element involved. We put in the parameters of what you're looking to achieve, and we also put in alerts and various other things. So if something is going awry, we'll know what's actually going on. So your risk is minimized by quite a lot. Okay, I hope that answers your question. And then I've got another one coming in here. God, a lot of questions coming in here. Hopefully I'll be able to answer them all. Reggie, what do you feel are the biggest challenges facing CEOs right now? Wow. That's a very, very good question. See, I think CEOs face a huge amount of challenges. And I think in this context, for many CEOs, they've got lots of challenges on their shoulders. They've got shareholders who they have to deal with. And really, one of the big things is how are they using AI within their organization to show efficiencies and, more importantly, show growth. If you think that for a lot of tech CEOs, the first communication their sales teams will actually have when they engage with their customers is probably through some marketing messaging, then it's clear that they also need to invest in marketing. I think one of the other challenges that they have is aligning their sales teams with their marketing teams as well as their product. When we go into organizations, we talk to all three because you can't have one without the other. They're so integrated. So I think for CEOs, it's not just the technology, but it's the infrastructure and it's how you implement AI in the right way. Okay, maybe I have got time for one more question. Reggie, you mentioned expansion into the US in 2025. Can you tell us more about that? Yes, absolutely, I can. So we are already expanding into the US from our London base, as a lot of our customers are based in the US. We have recently taken on representation in Irvine, California, and looking to develop that hub over there. But obviously, we are now identifying places like Nashville, places in Florida, places like Austin in Texas, and various other tech hubs. There's a huge growing community out there, and Digital Clarity, again through DBMM Group, are going to be part of that journey. I'm now being told that this is that my time is up. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. Please book a one-to-one with me, and I'd love to tell you more about some